Hey everybody, I'm Dave from Armistice Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the Mag Feeder, which is a foldable mag loader for your AR-15 magazines. Okay, so like I said, this is the Mag Feeder. It's made for AR-15 magazines to help load those. It says it's for 223, 5.56, 300 blackout, AR-15, 30 round magazine speed loader that folds in half to go with you to the range. I don't know if you guys have seen stuff like this before. I actually have a kind of a similar loader, but it's not foldable and a little bit different of a design. But it's basically something kind of like this, but it's a little more compact, a little more portable. So what you would do with this is you stick your AR-15 type magazine in here, and then this little section here is like to put your loose rounds, and then you can like put them in the orientation and slide them down. Then you have like a block, or I've used a magazine, like a pistol magazine before. You shove it in here and you push the rounds in and it loads it, obviously as long as they're in the right orientation. So that's kind of what the mag feeder is, but it's obviously a much smaller profile. This will fit in your bag probably a little bit easier than this does. This one's actually not bad in my gear bag because it's kind of a big gear bag, and I just slide it into kind of one of the padded slots. But some people might like this better. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it does have the instructions right inside on how to use the mag feeder. Hopefully the camera focuses on that. If not, I'll do like a B-roll shot. But they're pretty simple. I'm actually gonna not even look at the instructions because I haven't looked at them really. I just kind of glanced at them, but I didn't read it. It should be fairly simple, the same concept as this one I have here. Alright, so you can probably notice I've raised my table a little bit just so you guys can see me and the product on the table. So in the bag we have two pieces. We have the folded magazine loader, and then we have the block that I was talking about that you use to push the rounds into the magazine. Like I said, sometimes I've used like a pistol magazine before, like the base of it, a block of wood, whatever. That's what this is, to shove the rounds into the magazine. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so it's magnetic to hold it closed. There's no like clip or anything, like a clasp, and then it folds out. When it's folded out, it doesn't lock or anything. I can't really see why you would need to have it locked out, because you're usually going to have it on a table like this. So we have it faced up, and right here, if you guys can see that, if not, I will do a close-up shot. That's actually looks just like an AR-15 and functions just like an AR-15 magazine release. So the magazine is obviously going to lock into here. This is just locked in by like a friction. There's no like lock on it or anything. It's just friction. So anyway, let's see. Looks like this actually inserts into the mag feeder, rather where that one just kind of pushes in. So let's see. Okay, nice and tight. Not going to go anywhere. Push in the mag release and it comes right out. That's pretty neat. Okay, so we have it flat here, and like I said, like this one, this isn't really a comparison video, but just kind of so you guys can kind of see the differences. Like I said, this kind of has like a little channel where you can like have your loose rounds to put them down into the little slot. This doesn't have that. That's fine. What I'm going to be using are these hand-loaded 300 blackout. I think they're, if I remember right, they're 200 grain poly-coated projectiles from Eggleston Munitions. I've been using them for my 300 blackout for a couple years now. They work really well. They're subsonics. So I'm going to try these. It does say that it works for 300 blackout on here. 223, 5.56, 300 blackout. The magazine that I'm using is an Amend 2 magazine. They've been pretty good range mags. I mean, just good magazines overall. But I've had people ask me if these will work. These are mainly designed for 223 5.56. They've asked me if it will work with 300 blackout, and I wasn't sure. So I wanted to try it. Granted, my 300 blackout are like 200 grainers, so those sometimes have issues in 5.56 magazines. So we'll see. It's kind of a double test. Okay, so we have everything set up here, and I'm going to try to do this with 30 rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and load these real quick and see how it goes. And I don't know that these mag loaders are really designed to necessarily make make magazine loading like super fast, because you do have to kind of lay them out somewhat individually. It's not like an automatic feeder, but it just helps kind of with the thumbs, and just you lay it all out and then boom, and you're done. So it's a little bit easier. It's not necessarily faster, I would argue, but I've never tested it directly. All right, so this says this is that there are marker indications on here. I don't know. We'll see if this doesn't fall out. But on this wall of the mag loader closest to me, there are markers showing how many rounds they are. So right now I'm right at the 30, so let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
30. So I'm right on the line of where it says 30, and there are 30 laid out. Okay, so then we have the little pusher thing, whatever it's called. I haven't read the instructions, so I'm just kind of going with it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll show you guys this after I've loaded it, because it's going to be kind of hard with all the rounds here. But this also, if you see, has a magnet right here. So when you put it on the end of the mag loader, the magnet catches on the magnet that's on this other side to help the folding part lock. And so it keeps this in place so it doesn't just fall over or get lost very easily. It kind of like retains it there. So it's kind of neat. Okay, so let's go ahead. Magazine's locked in. Moment of truth. Let's see how it works. So there are a couple of rounds that are wanting to pop up. Ooh, man, those. It's getting pretty difficult. Oh, see, one just popped out. So, man, these do not want to go in much more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in theory, there's only 24 rounds loaded in this right now. I want to see how easy it is. I mean, it's pretty tough, but I can still load them by thumb. But it's hard. Now again, this is not a 300 blackout magazine, and it's especially not a 200 grainer 300 blackout magazine. So I'm kind of going outside what it's rated for, both for the magazine anyway, not for the mag loader. The mag loader is designed for 300 blackout. I'm going to be curious if this feeds reliably out of my 300 blackout when I shoot it, because these seem very tight. So we'll see how this mag holds up. This will stay loaded for 3-4 days, and we'll see if we see any issues with that. So it kind of worked for this particular situation. I'm going to grab another magazine, and I'm going to do 223 rounds that I've also hand loaded. I'm going to see if it works a little bit better, just so we can kind of determine if it's the loader, if it's the magazine, if it's the ammo. It's going to be kind of changing 2 out of the 3, so we'll see. So we'll be right back. Okay, so it appears that all of my Magpul magazines, which I know is what most of you watching probably has, they're all full of ammo already. I did have an ETS magazine, a 30 rounder, kind of a smoke clear. let's try that and see. I'm going to be using, again, hand loads, 223. Let's see how it works. Okay, loads in there just fine. 30. Okay, and full disclosure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds from the bottom. There happened to be a steel case 223 in there, so if there's a malfunction like 8 rounds in, that could be why. We'll see. But again, 30 right on the dot. Looks good. I am going to read the instructions real quick just to make sure there's not something I am missing. Okay, I mean, everything I did is basically what it says to do, which it doesn't really surprise me. Okay, so again, this is 223 round hand loads that I made. 30 round ETS magazine made for 5.56. Let's see if this runs a little bit better. That was way better. So chances are, yeah, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably the fact that I was loading 300 blackout into 200 grain 300 blackouts into a mag that wasn't really designed for that. Okay, my camera my battery died on my camera, so hopefully I got everything else up to this point. But as you can see, 30 rounds, ETS magazine, loaded just fine, loaded perfectly, very easy. So my guess is the hiccup on the first load had to do with, if I had to guess, probably 200 grain 300 blackouts and a magazine that's not designed for 300 blackout. I don't know for sure. That's my guess, but this loaded just fine. And I assume it would be just fine with 223 and other magazines like a Magpul, Hex Mag, things like that. So overall, pretty neat. Like I was telling you guys a second ago. So here's the end of the mag loader. Here's that little, they call it the spoon, to push the things in, the rounds. And you like push up, and it locks into place because of the magnet on this side right here, I assume. So it you don't lose it. So like it doesn't get lost in your bag in theory, unless it gets bumped pretty hard. But it folds up nice and tight. There's that magazine release button. Here are, if you guys look down here, you can see the round count indicators. And then on the back, it just says 6-axis development, feedyourmag.com, designed and made in the USA. The back just kind of looks like this, if you guys are curious at all. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Now in full disclosure, I didn't pay for this. At the time that I'm recording this, Cole from Team POI, he said, hey, do a review on this. Tell us what you think. And I said, okay. So I didn't pay for it. It wasn't really given to me. As far as I know, I'm giving it back to Cole, but I'm not sure. So I mean, I'm telling you guys what my experience was. You saw it didn't work perfectly with the 300 blackout. That doesn't mean it won't work with 300 blackout. It could have been the magazine. It could have been my specific loads. Who knows? It does say it is built, designed for 300 blackout. So my guess is my rounds were loaded to a little bit longer spec, or 200 grain, or whatever it may be. But I would not chalk it up to this if I had to guess. But I don't know. But anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, post down in the comments down below. Thank you for all the thumbs up, guys. It really helps a lot. Be sure to check the social media and other links down in the description below. Hit that subscribe button if you felt like this video was helpful and you want to see future content. And take care, stay safe, and keep on shooting.